Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the 5 biggest heists in US history, where the robbers walked away with millions of dollars and left the police baffled. These heists are not only impressive for their amount of loot, but also for their daring and ingenious methods. So, without further ado, let's get into the list. Number 5. The Brinks Robbery. The Brinks Robbery was committed in 1950 in Boston, Massachusetts, and it was the biggest heist in American history at the time. An 11-man gang used copied keys to gain entry into the Brinks building, where they stole $2.7 million in cash, checks, and money orders. That's equivalent to $29.5 million today. The robbers wore Halloween masks, gloves, and navy blue coats to disguise themselves, and they timed their operation to avoid any guards or witnesses. They also left behind no fingerprints or clues, except for a few coins that they dropped on the floor. The robbery was dubbed the crime of the century by the media, and it inspired several movies and books. However, the gang's luck ran out when one of them decided to rat out his accomplices to the FBI in exchange for a reduced sentence. The FBI arrested 8 of the robbers but recovered only $58,000. The robbers were sentenced to life imprisonment, but they were paroled after serving 14 years. Number 4. The Lufthansa Heist. The Lufthansa Heist was carried out in 1978 at the JFK International Airport in New York City. It was orchestrated by Jimmy Burke, a notorious American gangster who was associated with the Lucchese crime family. Burke hired a team of 6 men to rob a cargo terminal where Lufthansa Airlines stored its cash and valuables. The robbers used inside information from an airport employee who owed money to Burke, and they managed to steal $5 million in cash and $875,000 in jewels. That's equivalent to $21.6 million today. The heist was one of the largest cash robberies in American history, and it also featured in the famous movie Goodfellas. However, the heist also triggered a wave of violence and betrayal among the robbers and their associates. Burke became paranoid that someone would snitch on him or demand a bigger share of the loot, so he ordered the murder of several people involved in the robbery. The FBI eventually tracked down some of the robbers and recovered part of the money, but Burke himself was never charged with the heist. He died in prison in 1996 while serving time for another murder. Number 3. The Dunbar Armored Robbery. The Dunbar Armored Robbery was executed in 1997 in Los Angeles, California, and it remains the largest cash robbery in US history. The mastermind behind it was Alan Pace, a regional safety inspector for Dunbar Armored, who knew all the security procedures and weaknesses of the company. Pace recruited 5 of his childhood friends to help him rob the Dunbar Armored Depot, where they stole $18.9 million in cash. That's equivalent to $31 million today. The robbers wore masks and gloves, and they used a U-Haul truck to transport the money. They also avoided shooting any guards or setting off any alarms, making it a perfect crime. However, the robbers made some fatal mistakes that led to their downfall. One of them gave a real estate broker a stack of cash that still had the original currency straps from the robbery. The police also found a broken taillight lens from a U-Haul truck that matched the one used in the robbery. The FBI eventually arrested all 6 robbers. In the end, less than $5 million was ever recovered, with some $13.9 million still missing. Number 2. The United California Bank Robbery. The United California Bank Robbery was perpetrated in 1972 in Laguna Niguel, California, and it was one of the most audacious heists ever attempted. The robbers were a group of professional burglars from Ohio who had learned about a secret vault in the bank that contained millions of dollars from President Nixon's re-election campaign fund. The robbers planned to break into the vault using explosives and drills, but they faced several challenges along the way. They had to evade security guards, police patrols, helicopters, and dogs, as well as deal with faulty equipment and bad weather. They also had to overcome their own greed and distrust among themselves. Despite all these obstacles, the robbers managed to pull off the heist and steal $30 million in cash and valuables. That's equivalent to $189 million today. The robbery was the largest in US history until then, and it shocked the nation and the world. However, the robbers were not able to enjoy their loot for long. One of them was arrested for another burglary and confessed to the FBI about the heist. The FBI then arrested the rest of the robbers and recovered about $2 to $4 million, while most of the money was never found. Number 1. The Isabella Gardner Museum Heist. The Isabella Gardner Museum Heist is the largest art theft in US history and one of the most mysterious crimes ever committed. It happened in 1990 in Boston, Massachusetts, when two men dressed as police officers entered the museum and tied up the guards. They then proceeded to steal 13 artworks worth $500 million, including paintings by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Degas, and Manet. The robbers also took a Napoleonic eagle finial that they may have mistaken for gold. The heist lasted for 81 minutes, and the robbers left behind no fingerprints or clues except for some broken frames and wires. The heist remains unsolved to this day, and none of the artworks have been recovered. The FBI has pursued several leads and suspects over the years, but none of them have resulted in any arrests or convictions. The museum has offered a $10 million reward for information leading to the recovery of the artworks, and has also kept the empty frames on display as a reminder of the loss. So, these are the biggest heists in US history. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more interesting content. Also, let me know in the comments which heist you found the most fascinating or surprising. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.